Hey there everybody, Popontop here. Welcome back to some more Fallout 4 mods. In today's mod, we got a weapon mod here. This is the PP-91 Kedr, K-E-D-R. So Kedr, I guess. The PP-19, though, is what we'll just refer to the weapon as in the future for the rest of this video, because it's easier to say, is a submachine gun type weapon. So it's added to the leveled list. I believe I found it off of a gunner or a raider of some variety at some point during my adventures and travels. But you can also find it from weapon vendors and stuff like such, like, you know, Arturo and Diamond City and stuff like that, or Cleo and Good Neighbor, right? But it does come with some cool features to it. It has an extreme amount of recoil, just to be fair. We have currently like a little red dot sight on there, right? But it does come with quite a bit of recoil. Nice sound, though. We have the biggest mag on there, too, a 50-round mag. Let's take a look at this at the weapon workbench here, though. So you can make it semi-auto or automatic, you know, very basic receiver stuff. It looks like it's changing the stock, which is not accurate to what's doing things here. But you can make it semi-auto if you want to. You know, your advanced receiver, it does do more damage that way, and you don't lose that much fire rate. You gain a lot of range. Let's try that. Let's put that on there right away. So long barrel, short barrel, standard barrel, they don't seem to do anything. As you see, the range stat is not changed. So like, fundamentally, the game's logic doesn't understand any difference between these things besides like a cosmetic one. So that's there. You can also, interestingly, make it one-handed or two-handed. This is just an animation switch. So we'll sort this off real quick. So we're holding the weapon one-handed now. You can shoot it very fast. This is semi-auto, okay? Like, you may be thinking I'm lying, okay? But like, I'll put the controller next to the microphone so you can hear the clicks of it. The fire rate actually doesn't change that much. So if you really wanted to, you can absolutely make this weapon semi-auto and I just shot my own armor workbench. Sorry, armor workbench. Don't worry about me, man. But you could absolutely, if you got the trigger finger for it. I really have to focus to get that maximum fire rate out of it. But you could just spam the heck out of this weapon. Oh, yeah, we wanted to show off more of the one-handed animations and stuff. I mean, obviously you got some of it there. But it is unique, because it makes sense that this gun is like a small machine pistol type gun that you could very much hold it one-handed and then run around with it. You get unique running animations and stuff, right? Like unique, probably like you put away, you hold it up like this. Let's see, like, compare the differences, right? We'll make it two-handed again. And just to show off the differences between the two modes. Because like I said, it's an animation difference. You start at like 10-round magazine, that's not very big at all. But you can work up to that 50-round quad stack. I don't know what the difference between a quad stack and a regular mag is. I guess it's quad stack, so it's like smaller, so maybe it reloads faster, I'm not sure. All different kinds of sights, ACOGs, your red dots, your Barskas, your Seymours, right? All kinds of like, what I think are modern military sights. I'm not sure about that, right? But all the kind, like 2.5, 1.5 zoom, lots of smaller scopes though, because obviously your ACOG, your 2.5 zoom is about as high as you get with this particular type of weapon, because I don't know if you're really going to be using it at long range. It has a decent range stat when you make it semi-auto like this, but we'll put a different set on there just to show it off. You could put compensators and muzzle brakes and all that stuff on there, as well as suppressors, my silencer or a suppressor. Suppressor does reduce range, and all the compensators and muzzle brakes reduce range by like a lot. So if we're going from 179 to 134, you know, I'm not going to think of the math, the percentage of that right away, but we will put a suppressor on there for now, just to see what it sounds like silence. You can do all these kind of things with stocks. If you have a folded stock, you can't put a sight on there. If you have no stock, you can put a sight on that, and then if you have an unfolded stock, you can put a sight on that. The folded stock is the only one that reduces accuracy by 5. So as you see here, unfolded stock, 65 accuracy. No stock, 65 accuracy. Folded stock, 60 accuracy. But less weight. For some reason, having the stock completely torn off the weapon, just cut that shit off, still weighs just as much as if you had it on there. But if you fold it into the gun, you lose. I don't know, man. We'll put no stock on there because just there's some difference, and you obviously have damage modifiers, only pluses. Doing 66 damage, this is obviously semi-automatic, is not high, I would say, but it does use the extremely common, very cheap, very easy .38 ammo. So you just obviously have a ton of that, and it's obviously like the weakest ammunition type in the game. But we're testing out in some combat. We'll see how this goes, but. So let's take a look at this. So we have a different sight on here. This is a big ass sight. I think the gun is small in general, so it feels like every sight is big. But you got the two-handed running animations and stuff, your put away animations, so you're holding the weapon differently. That's the big differences here. You're either holding it like a pistol or more like a submachine gun. But you can absolutely tap fire this thing pretty quick. And the suppressor, though, reducing a lot of range. But I mean, sneaking is kind of important. Some people, you know, depends on your playstyle. Because, like, the only time you would need the range is if you're taking long-range sneaky shots most of the time, right? I really don't like this Barska sight, though. I really don't like, you know, any of the sights. I guess I'll just put, like, you know, I guess we're losing some accuracy by doing that. Let's try to find a sight that we like. We'll put the delta point on there, sure. I also wanted to make the weapon one-handed again. I prefer those animations. Like, these sights are really big, though, right? It's just a tiny little gun. It definitely feels like a one-handed gun. I, in my personal preferences, would put the gun at one-handed. I don't know if a sight makes any kind of sense on here at all. Especially like some of the bigger zoom sights. It's just like, I don't know about that. I would probably rock the weapon no stock, just because I think it like I said, with this one-handed version, it looks cleaner to not have a stock. It just makes more sense. It's essentially, it's like, this EOTech sight is humongous. Like, it's just, the sights are just huge. But it's a pistol. It's like a machine pistol. I'm going to make it full auto as well. Because we can see how that negatively affects the range as well. So it comes down all the way down to 77 with a suppressor on there. And you only gain a little bit of fire rate. But I don't think anybody out there can function, like actually use the weapon at its maximum semi-automatic fire rate by tap firing. This is a lot easier to do. Obviously, we get a lot of recoil here, though. There's no recoil control with this weapon. There's no attachments that decrease recoil. I mean, I guess maybe the muzzle brakes would. But the muzzle brakes are reducing range just as much as... I'm going to put no sight on there because I really don't like any of these sights. They just feel like too big on top of the weapon. Like, it just really makes it really cumbersome instead of like more pistol-like. I really would like some glow sights probably. So muzzle brakes are supposed to reduce recoil. They don't say that they do that directly. And compensators and stuff. But we'll try it like this. Maybe this is the way I would think, like a little machine pistol. I mean, the iron sights here are good. We got a nice little clear sight picture, right? It's very, like, you know, little U-shape, little prong in the middle. Let's just see what you're doing. This is the way I would use the weapon. I probably run around and hit fire, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna test it out. We're gonna leave the suppressor on there. Not that we're gonna have very many long range fights with the way that I plan on testing the weapon, but it will give us a good example of, you know, the way the weapon works. But, you know, keep in mind there is some variety of making it semi-auto, making it two-handed if you want to, putting a big old stock on there, big old scope. You could do, you know, you can be like pop, 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 like extremely semi-auto. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try my best to functionally use the weapon at semi-auto, tap, fast as I can mode. We'll see how this goes. And I'll see you guys when I get there. Alright, everybody, we are here at my Zombies Arena arcade mode right outside of Diamond City. That's kind of like a weird, like, is it a weird, like, hanging animation? Like, when I'm turning right, it looks like it's, like, hanging out to the left more. That's kind of weird. That's interesting looking. You see that? I don't know. That's some weird stuff. Anyway, I left it tap fire rate, left the suppressor on there, you know. Everybody has personal preferences on probably the way they'd want to kit this weapon. Let's go super duper march, just because I love killing things with super duper march. Like I said, none of this is long range, though. This is not going to be a real test of the reduced range capacity. But I don't think this is a gun you're supposed to use at really far ranges. Let's spawn in some gunners, why not? They might have the weapon themselves, ripping it full auto at me while I have to try to semi-auto tap fire back. The hipfire accuracy is extremely accurate here, though, as you see. So I might be trying to use that, like I said, because it's like a machine pistol, submachine gun type thing. Just tap away. Thanks for the plasma grenade. Appreciate that. It's got some weird side-to-side animations where it's like hangs a little bit. That's kind of interesting. I don't think you see that on too many guns. I believe that is realistic. I don't, you know, you can argue that, I guess, or not. Where are the rest of these mans? Or ladies, or whatever, right? Non-gender specific people spawning in it. Just tap firing it away. They're shooting at me with something. I mean, let's see what it looks like in VATS too. What kind of... I mean, a bazillion VAT shots. I'm not going to actually count them out, but like... You're holding it two-handed in VATS too. That's interesting. Like, regardless. When you're doing aimed fire, you're holding it two-handed. Like in the normal circumstances, if you're using the weapon, right? And you aim down sight, which is kind of what you're doing in VATS anyway, right? You are holding it one-handed still. But then See, they did have a PP-19 or PP-91. Maybe it's the PP-91. I wrote PP-19. Maybe I'm dumb now. Like, I could have wrote it down wrong. Maybe I've been saying it wrong this whole video. We're doing another round here, though. Testing out all of my tap fire capabilities. Obviously, the 50-round magazine is more than enough to clear like a whole wave of this by myself, like without having to reload. Let's see. And obviously, I have extreme tap trigger fire skills because I've been showing that off the whole time. You guys clearly got to see, like. I'm gonna run out of bullets. Stop hitting me with your radioactive gun. I don't like that. Don't do that. Yes. Radium Rifle. Never-ending hardened Radium Rifle. Dang, dude, that's a good one. It's like, you know, on the random scale of getting random ass shit, that's a pretty good one. I mean, obviously, we're shooting the .38 ammo, which is extremely light if you're doing survival mode. Extremely cheap to find, essentially, everywhere. So, I think that's extremely good here. This gun is extremely good for what you get out of it. It's a kind of cool machine pistol, submachine gun, or like even like just extremely rapid fire rate semi-auto pistol. Depends on how you kind of customize it and stuff. And I think that's cool, unique, and interesting. Like, just really, if you want to, with an extremely high semi-auto fire rate, or you can do full auto. You can do not the suppressor, you can put sights on there. I think it's got all the cool things and customization you'd want from a weapon like this. I really like it one-handed, like a pistol. I mean, I wonder if that's the difference too, because I have both the gunslinger and rifleman perks. I wonder if you hold it two-handed, well, I guess it's commando or rifleman, depending on what, if you have full auto, it's commando no matter what, right? But if it's semi-auto, if you have it two-handed, is it rifleman? And then if you hold it one-handed semi-auto, it's gunslinger, right? That might be an interesting thing. It's hard for me to check because I have both perks, and I can't see like a difference between the two of them operating. But that is an interesting thing. I would recommend rocking it one-handed. I just think the gun is like too physically small to really hold with two hands. Obviously, that would be good for recoil and stuff. If you had a full auto, you could hold it two-hand, high hip fire, spray and pray type of thing. I like this gun a lot, though. I guess it's a PP-91. PP-19 is what I wrote down. I'll put PP-91, the Kedr. I don't know how you say it. Now, you guys can correct my pronunciation in the comments down below if you feel like doing that. You also let me know in the comments down below if you plan on checking out this weapon for yourselves. I think it's a good time. It could be really good in a pistol build. It could be good for like anything, though. Just spray and pray, little tiny SMG. I like it a lot. If you guys are checking out this, want to check out this mod for yourselves, and you do like it, make sure to check out the top link in the description. There'll be a link there to the Bethesda on that page, so you can download this mod for yourselves there. If you guys have enjoyed the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video, dislike the video. That's okay too. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe, that we can check out more videos from me. I make Fallout 4 mod videos a couple times a week. If you guys, you know, have a good rest of your day. That's what I mean to say. I get real confused sometimes. Have a good rest of your day, whatever it's going to be, and I will see you in the next episode.